So, can you please introduce yourself and give a 1-minute history of your career?
Sure. So my name is Jeff McRitchie, and in 2003, a local small business owner came to me and said, "Could you make me an online retail store?" And I said, "Well, I've never done that before, but shouldn't be that hard." And so that's really the beginnings of mybinding.com. We sat down, we figured out the domain name, we launched our first site almost 12 years ago, and it's kind of been a wild ride and an adventure since then. So we've been growing at double and triple digit growth for the last 12 years, which is really exciting. Today, 90% of our business comes from online retail, and we have 80 employees and about a 70,000 square foot facility in Hillsboro, Oregon. And it just is continuing to be a really fun time.
Awesome. How did you get involved with Exclusive Concepts?
So I actually met Exclusive Concepts at a trade show almost 5 years ago, and had some conversations. At first, we were talking about conversion optimization and sort of optimizing our test, and that sort of didn't end up going anywhere. I had other things going on, but I've been on the list and getting the webinars, and have watched a bunch of webinars. And so as I needed some help with my pay-per-click campaign, I remembered what these guys do, and I thought, hey, that could be a good fit. And so that's when sort of conversations opened up again, and we said, maybe this makes sense.
Awesome. What was the reason that you chose Exclusive Concepts?
So I really chose Exclusive Concepts because I need growth, and we're a very growth-driven company. Our pay-per-click had sort of become flat, so it wasn't really declining as much as it was sort of just not going anywhere. And that tends to be, over the years that I've done this, that's happened to me a few times, where just that sort of edge that it takes to continue to grow, the new ideas sort of stop coming, and everything sort of just flattens out, and things stop happening. And so I knew it was time to make a change, and that's really when I decided to start looking. And when I talked to Exclusive Concepts, one of the biggest things for me was I had an idea that they would bring a fresh perspective, a new sort of approach to the campaign, which I really needed, and just sort of just turn things around to cut out waste, and then start the growth process again, which is what we really need.
Thank you. Was price more important than delivery, service, and quality?
So price was important, but not my number one concern. So I needed somebody who was going to be competitive and reasonable as a percent of spend, essentially, just to be in the right ballpark. But I was mostly concerned about somebody who was going to be able to deliver the growth type of goals that I needed. And so when I looked at competitors, I was looking for somebody who had a reasonable I could have a reasonable assertion that they were going to be able to deliver that growth for me, and that was the most important thing, more than how much can I save or spend in terms of management fees. Because ultimately, if I grow and they grow, we're both happy. If not, then no one's happy, and we just end up having to look for a new partner. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your experience has been with our products and services so far?
Yeah, so it's actually been a really smooth transition. I was a little concerned about that. You always have a new company start, and it's okay, we got to restructure campaigns, and sometimes it can be kind of painful, and it really hasn't been. I saw growth the first month, which was awesome. Kind of leading up into this transition, my previous company had sort of, the performance of my account had declined, and within 2.5 months, the account sort of regained all of the decline that the other people had gotten. We had trimmed the fat, and then we were really on to seeing things pick up and grow. And last month we had really our best month in a very, very long time. So it was really exciting.
Can you think of a word or a phrase that best describes your relationship with us, and why that word or phrase?
So I guess I'd probably go with freshness. For me, we just have a fresh and new energy to the management of our account. We're kind of taking a new look at it, and that's really what's driving the growth right now. I think is it's just like we're taking an account that's now been running for 12 years. At first I managed it, and I've had other people manage it, and we're just taking a new set of eyes and a new set of energy that's able to inject a new life into the campaign. So I've been pretty excited about that.
Has working with us changed the way your company does business in any way?
So, one of the reasons why I'm visiting Exclusive Concepts today is because I'm here to figure out how I can help them better. Always looking and saying, okay, so now I've got my whole team, my marketing team, and we're doing all of our things. How can we find that synergy? Like, what are the things that they need from me to be more successful with my campaign? And so I think that's probably the biggest change would just be like, now I'm saying, okay, they've got a fresh perspective. They're trying to move this thing, but they can't do it by themselves. They have to. I need to be improving my site. I need to be creating landing pages, and also just like trying to bring them up to speed with all the other initiatives that are happening in the company, because all of those things impact them, and their really awesome insights can help me to be more successful at those, and then we're all more successful, and the conversion rate of the site will go up, and their campaigns will look better, and I'll look good, and they'll look good, and everybody's happy.
Awesome. So you're a big catch in the industry. Have our competitors knocked on your door, and if so, what do you tell them?
So I get calls, I don't know, maybe a few times a month at least, from different people, competitors who are looking to win my business. Right now I say that I'm happy, if I wasn't happy, sometimes I'll take a look and see what they think that they can do for me. But the reality is that we're on a growth trajectory. Things are going well. And the reality is that I do feel like there's freshness and growth there, and so I don't feel like I need to go and explore like software solutions. Everybody's got a different angle on the market, but really ultimately the only angle that I need is the one that's going to bring me revenue growth, so that I can meet my targets and produce what is demanded of me by the company. So.
Why would you recommend us to someone else?
So I feel like they're small enough. Exclusive Concepts is small enough to be down to earth, to take a real look at it, and you're not just another number, and in the big picture, like you actually matter. And I guess probably the bigger thing is that they're more of a holistic company. So in the past I've dealt with pay-per-click management companies, and it tends to be that they look at the pay-per-click, but they don't look at the rest of the site or the rest of the experience. And the reality is that the rest of the experience probably has more of an impact on the pay-per-click than just the pay-per-click does. So you can spend a lot more money driving more traffic, but if that traffic isn't doing something, and they're willing to stop what they do and talk to me about that and say, hey, I noticed this on your site, and if you just might consider doing that, like making your free shipping pop out a little bit more, it might have a better impact on you and on your conversions. And I think that that means a lot to me, just the willing to look at my business as a whole, as opposed to just as what it does on Google, AdWords, because AdWords is an important part of what we do, but it really is only a small part of the overall traffic, conversions, and business that we do online.
Awesome. So this is somewhat similar, but if someone just asked you the very simple question, why should I do business with Exclusive Concepts? What would you tell them?
Because Nick is awesome. No, I would say that I would say, if someone said why do business with Exclusive Concepts, I would say because they can provide you growth. And that's really what it all comes down to, so it's whether that be in conversion optimization, whether that be in paid search, It's really a matter of having a conversation and saying, hey, what can you do for me? And they'll tell you. And so you really have to evaluate it at that, but ask them how they can grow your business, and let them answer that question and win your business, because that's really what it comes down to. It's about what can they do for you? How can they make you look good? Are you going to be able to hit your next quarterly goals, your yearly goals, and grow your business like you need to grow your business?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.